Hey, we're back for another relationship video. So today we are going to be talking about the last love language. I'm trying to cover all five that Dr. Gary has shared with us in his books. I know you're not reading his books, or maybe you have read them, maybe you have not, but whatever it is, there are mainly five main love languages, and I've talked a bit about each of them and giving you some practical tips, suggestions, and obviously there's some in the comments as well. And if you have any ideas, tips, advice, suggestions, questions, put them in the comments as well. So let's jump into today's love language, which is the last one in the of his five. It is actually the physical touch, and this is also really often misunderstood, right? See, physical touch is something that someone wants to be. If the person doesn't want to be touched, then that's not really love, right? It is only really love. Like the physical touch is only truly love if it's something that other person wants to receive, right? So in this case, both parties have to speak this language to a certain extent. Some people really don't like to be touched, and that is all fine and dandy, but they speak other languages, other love languages. So you have to communicate with them in other ways. There are some people who are maybe autistic or maybe enhanced or unique in different ways, where they don't like to be touched, but they love to be heard or encouraged or given gifts to. So depending on what kind of language you speak, what kind of love language speaks to you and what you speak, then maybe you should learn to speak that language. And if physical touch is not for everyone. But that said, when I think about physical touch, I think about the body, and the body is meant to be touched. The body is meant to be hugged. I mean, I know some people who don't like to be hugged at all. Like hugging is like really grosses them out or freaks them out. And I'm not sure if it's because of the way they were brought up, or it could be abuse or some other thing that triggers them or causes them to cringe or retract or, retreat into their shell, so to speak. But whatever the case, the body is for touching, and at the very least, you should, be okay to touch yourself. Some people don't even like to touch themselves, which is, they don't like to be touched at all. I know someone who likes to wear a lot of clothes because he was abused before and he doesn't like to be touched, right? So, and then on the other hand, there's some people who just love to be touched, and they need to be touched all the time, right, to have that connection. So tapping on them on the shoulder, or just giving them like a fist pump or some kind of physical touch in whatever sense, where it could be a handshake, it could be a hug, it could be just a wave, even like a not actual physical touch, but like symbolic of a physical touch, especially during this time of the quarantine and the pandemic and the isolation and the lockdown. People can't really touch other people, and a lot of people are going crazy, and some people love it. So are you one of those people who love it or hate it, that you can't be touched and you can't touch someone else? So I mean, there's a lot of other stuff we can talk about in this love language, obviously, especially for people who are in relationships and people who are already married. Physical touch is a big deal, and that's one of the ways we reproduce. So sometimes I think about it, and I think that one of the best ways is to, like we used to open doors for each other, right? We used to open doors for women, and now they are so independent, they open their own doors. But what if we hold the door open for them, and then we hold their hand into wherever they're going? I think that would be like just a very simple thing, just holding someone's hand. It could be not just someone that you're in love with, but someone that maybe like someone who needs help, someone who's elderly, for example, someone who's a kid who can't walk across the road by him or herself, for example, right? So, when I think last example I can think that I want to share is basically when someone gets home, like sometimes I used to get off my rear end, and whatever I'm just doing, I just put it down and I'll go greet the person. And greeting the person, hugging the person would be um a form of physical touch, right? The physical contact where you're in the same presence, when you're face to face or in a close proximity with someone. So next time someone comes home, if you live with someone, even a roommate or whoever it is, like just greet them. And then maybe hug them and just high five or fist pump or whatever you want. At least have some physical contact, because we need physical contact. The body needs that. Like we really do. So it may not be your first primary love language, but it's still a love language that everyone speaks around the world, right? Hugging. I know some cultures don't hug as much, and some cultures hug a lot. Some blow kisses, some kiss on both sides of the cheek, that kind of stuff. So that is all under this category of physical touch. Okay. Thank you so much for listening, and I would love to hear your thoughts, any feedback, ideas, suggestions, insights, recommendations. Put it in the comments as usual, and I will see you in the next video. Also, if you have any ideas about future videos, what I should talk about in terms of relationships, let me know. You can message me directly. You can also follow me on social media and DM me on Instagram or Twitter or other places. So I am in the midst of this challenge right now, this July 2020 challenge, and it's really fun. I'm making all these videos. I'm really enjoying it and trying different ways of presenting and sharing information, and as well as interacting with my community. So I really appreciate you again. Love you. Please show your love and appreciation as well by liking the video, by sharing the video, commenting, subscribing to my YouTube, and hitting the bell so you get future notifications. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video.